Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan. We're talking NFL Draft. Only a few days away here, so let's get right into it. Now, if you've been following along, we're doing mock draft simulations for individual teams using the draftnetwork.com's mock simulator against their predictive board. Going team by team here in the AFC North. We're into the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this team was weird last season, okay? They transitioned from a pocket passer with an emphasis on wide receiver talent increased in free agency to halfway through the season dealing with Flacco's injury, moving to a running quarterback and a large intensity on the running game in general, moving away from those receivers as shown by John Brown leaving, and just Lamar Jackson did not do well with those receivers. Now, there's been a huge amount of loss this year in free agency on the defensive side. You lost Mosley, you lost Zadarius Smith. You got big gains in safety coming over from Seattle, but I don't think that levels out what the losses were. So, let's get into it. At pick number 22, a need position, I went with Garrett Bradbury. Keeping pressure from coming up the middle is a big deal for quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, and you're not going to be able to fix all of the needs in this team in one draft. So protecting the quarterback is a bit more important than fixing a defense because, the quarterback and center need to have good communication, and if you don't necessarily think that you need the center changed out, he can easily move into guard. Either way, the middle of that offensive line was not inspiring much confidence last season. Garrett Bradbury will be an upgrade to that. Now, a lot of people have them going wide receiver in round one. I don't think that's going to happen because the level of importance for that position is significantly diminished by Lamar's inability to really get the passing game going overall. He had wide receivers that Flacco proved early in the season were more than talented enough, and he was unable to utilize them. However, that being said, in the second round, considering they do have a need at wide receiver, I did end up going with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, wide receiver out of Stanford. Now, this guy has been climbing a lot of people's mock draft boards, so not sure at this point if he's going to be readily available at this point, but he was in this simulation, so I snapped him up. He's big, he's fast, he's got good mastery of a route tree already. Not the whole route tree. Obviously, no wide receiver does really well with that coming out of college, but more than enough to take advantage of Lamar Jackson's limited talents in the passing game. Normally, I just do top 100 picks because that's the bulk of roster building in the league, but at pick number 102, you kind of figure that's close enough. Here I went with Anthony Nelson, edge out of Iowa. Now, this guy is not a speed demon, all right? He's more of an effort guy, but that's fine in this league, okay? If you have a guy that puts a consistent effort forth every single play, always trying his absolute hardest, he's going to get production. What I get out of this guy is like a Grant Winston kind of vibe. Not a premier name, but he'll consistently do well for the team to the point where he's going to make a few Pro Bowls here and there late in his career. It's just effort, okay? If he can stay healthy and work in a good defensive scheme like this, he'll do well towards the end of his career. You have a lot to fix on this defense. It's not going to happen just in this draft. You have a lot of changes to make in the roster based off of what the offense had to turn into last year to fit Lamar Jackson's talents. And a lot of that's going to be scheme changes in the off-season. A whole off-season program devoted to making sure this team works for Lamar Jackson will be a benefit because obviously they didn't get that last year. The off-season program had to be designed for Joe Flacco, and more of a downfield passing style. So this is a bit of an enigma. Not quite sure what Baltimore is going to be. I don't necessarily expect them to be good. I really don't. With the Browns coming on and with the Steelers being the Steelers and having their guy in Ben Roethlisberger already, I don't expect the Ravens to have the same kind of playoff experience that they had last year. Yes, Lamar Jackson brought them into the playoffs with his limited passing game skill set, but I don't think people are going to be surprised by him like they were last year, and they're going to be ready for it. So I don't see a repeat performance. I think Baltimore is not making the playoffs this year, which may bring John Harbaugh's job into question yet again. Sorry, Baltimore fans, but hey, comment who you think you're going to get in the draft, and keep the conversation going right up until draft day. All right?